In today's video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to protect your outside faucets so that they don't ever freeze during the winter and give you a broken pipe that can cost you thousands of dollars to repair. And I'm also going to show you the best way to get all that water out of your hoses so that you might not even have to bring them inside, and at least if you do, they're not going to leak water all over your floor. The first thing you'll want to do to protect any outdoor faucet is to shut off the water supply that goes to it. So hopefully you know where that valve is, or you can get to it, and then you want to go outside and open up the valve itself to let out any water. Once the water stops coming out, you want to go ahead and close the valve, and then you want to get one of these. Now these things are called a Faucet Insulator, or maybe a Faucet Protector, and these things are like gold for protecting those outdoor faucets from any type of freeze-ups, because you just don't know how cold it's going to get, and these are cheap insurance for making sure that that valve doesn't freeze. They're made of styrofoam, and these are the kind that I like, but there are also some that are made of fabric that are more like mittens that you can put right over the faucet. Now using this thing is simple. You just hook that small loop onto any part of the faucet. Doesn't matter where you hook it, you just want to make sure that it's held tight. Then just grab the end of that cord, you're going to squeeze the clamp and slide it against the protector, and you'll see that that gasket gets compressed against the house. And now in less than 10 seconds, you just created a barrier around that faucet so the cold and the wind are not going to be able to blow in it, which is ultimately going to cause your freeze up. The only difference between the two of these is this is like the deluxe model because it's got that hard plastic shell over the styrofoam, and that's probably going to make it last a little bit longer. You can buy these one at a time, they're really cheap, or they sell multi-packs if you've got multiple faucets on your house. The other nice thing is in the springtime, it takes just 2 seconds to release that clamp, and now your outdoor faucet is ready for use. And if you've got a hose reel like this that you don't want to bring inside or remove all that hose, here's an easier way. Start by removing the hose from the valve, then you're going to want to go to the opposite end of the hose and make sure if it has a valve that it's wide open. And then you are going to need an air compressor, but it doesn't have to be anything big, even the tiniest one will work. But the problem is the air compressor line and the garden hose are not going to line up, so you're going to want to get one of these. This is an inexpensive adapter that's going to go from your air compressor line right into your garden hose. And with the air valve in the closed position, connect it into your air line, but then you're going to notice that your garden hose still won't fit, and you're going to need one of these male adapters. Now this might seem like a pain, but this is something you're going to do every year, and having these parts around makes this job so much simpler. Now with a compressor on, I recommend setting it to around 40 psi. You can start to crack that valve open slowly and let the magic begin. And as you can see, there is a lot of water inside that hose, and it's definitely not going to be good to leave that in there throughout the winter. Now with all that water out, you're not going to have any problems with this thing freezing up during the winter, and you can decide if you want to bring it inside or just leave it in place. And even if you've got a portable hose reel or something like this Hoselink, this thing is still going to weigh a ton because it's filled with water, and if you bring it inside your house, it's going to drip all over your garage for the entire winter. So now just repeat the same process, connecting your air line and then slowly open the valve to make sure that you get all the water out of your reel. And now you can store this thing dry, it's going to weigh less, and you're not going to have any dripping water in your house. Getting your house ready for winter really isn't that exciting, but if you've ever had a pipe burst, it's definitely something you want to avoid. And hopefully the tips in this video made the job a little bit easier and can save you some aggravation in the future.